My friend Katie and I, we were man shopping the other day. Now, if you're a man, you could be woman shopping, or you could be a woman shopping, or you could be a man shopping, or any of those combinations. But she happens to be a heterosexual woman, and her boyfriend broke up with her, so we were man shopping. And then we got to talking about it. And we realized that now if Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet were putting ads on Match.com, and what would they say? They probably wouldn't end up liking each other. I mean, he would probably say things like he would want somebody in his own income bracket, and she would probably say things that like she wanted somebody who's really kind and loving and like to dance. And so they might not, you know, meet each other or like each other's profile. And when he saw that she didn't have any money, and when she saw that he had so much money, they'd probably think that it wouldn't work. And she would look at him and think he was pretty much of a stiff, and then he would look at her picture and think she was very plain. So they probably wouldn't ever get together. If you go on like Match.com, or if Darcy and Elizabeth were going on Match.com. So then I asked my husband, I said, well, would you even call me if you had seen me on Match.com now? And he said, well, what would your ad say? And I said, well, I'd probably say grandmother of two. And he stopped me right there and said, I'd never respond to an ad where a woman called herself a grandmother, because if she's that interested in her grandkids, I don't think I would be interested in her. So my husband of 37 years wouldn't even respond to an ad that I put up. And I probably wouldn't respond to his ad because he's a smoker, and I would never respond to an ad for a smoker. Now, he was a smoker when we got involved with each other, but we were like 23 years old when we got involved with each other, so it didn't seem to matter that much, and most men that I knew at that time smoked. So, there's that. And then you think of Romeo and Juliet. Would they answer each other's ads? I don't think so. As soon as they saw the last name of the other one, they would say, forget it. So that would take that one out. Now, my friend, she seems to think that somebody has to appeal to her as in a picture, and that's the first impression, and that if they don't appeal to her in the picture, then forget it. And I am of the opposite opinion. I think that the pictures just don't really speak for the person. And a lot of people put pictures from like 10 years ago or 20 years ago even, and they don't even look like that anymore. So what does it matter? I mean, if I looked at my husband's picture from 10 or 20 years ago, I would think, oh, he's too young for me. Or he looks really young, and I would never want to be with somebody who looked that young if they were my age, because then I'd be all intimidated and everything. So I don't know if you can draw any conclusions from all of that, but just to say that people who might be a good match don't necessarily find the things in Match.com that might be things that would be an indication of whether they'd be a good couple or not. Then we got to talking about things like the dead fish. Now, it seems that a lot of men who put an ad on Match.com put pictures of themselves with things like a dead fish or a Harley motorcycle. And maybe women who like to go fishing or who like Harley motorcycles will like that man, and that's what he wants, is some woman who really likes that stuff. But that really X's out a whole lot of people. Now, I go back to my husband and I mean, I love to bike ride. He doesn't. The other consideration is things that you like to do and defining yourself by those things. Now, one thing that my friend brought up is that she really wants to get involved with somebody who likes animals, but the way that she defines liking animals is really different from the way that I define liking animals. Like, I really like animals, but I would never express my dog's urine because the dog has become ill and paralyzed in her rear end. I would probably have the dog put to sleep. Now, that might be cruel in my friend's book, but to me, it seems like, I don't want to spend my life taking a dog and expressing his urine. I mean, but I can understand that she would want to do that because she really loves the dog, and she really, really, really does love animals far beyond what I feel is my capacity for loving animals. So if she puts loves animals in her ad, and there's another person out there like me who feels that they love animals but doesn't love them to the extent that she does, then they answer her ad or she answers their ad. Now that might cause a problem. So it's an imperfect system is all that I'm saying. I don't have any answers. I just think relationships are hard work, no matter how you meet the person. And you have to really give up a lot of things to be in a relationship. And it's surprising, like, what ends up being a good relationship.